Shot in 4K ultra high definition. Your number one source for local news. WRAL News. Coverage you can count on.
Wake County Schools is announcing their bus assignments today, just ahead why thousands of students could be arriving late to class.
And check this out. Our muggy meter is at steamy, but could drop to tolerable and maybe even comfy for parts of the weekend. I'll show you how it will feel.
Downed trees and lingering debris. I'll tell you why the work towards recovery is still not over here in Durham.
And a leadership shakeup in Maui. The top emergency response official has resigned. What he says his reason is for stepping down amid the deadliest U.S. wildfire in more than 100 years. Come to our Friday as we close out this week, mid-August. I'm Jeff Hogan. Good to have you with us.
And I'm Renee Chu, and it's going to feel like mid-August today. Meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner in the WRAL Severe Weather Center. Steamy out there.
It is. We take a look at what's happening outside, and it's nice and clear. I know it's hard to tell because it's dark outside, but when I walked in, beautiful stars everywhere. It's a pretty pleasant morning. Our dew point's at 68, and while that is considered muggy, we're going to start to see that dropping as we get through the day today, so it won't feel as sticky as it does sometimes. It won't feel as muggy as it did yesterday, as a matter of fact. 73 is our current temperature around the Triangle area. We're looking at mostly sunny skies today. So we have the tower lit in blue there for clear. We take a look at temperatures heading out the door. 73 in Southern Pines, Fayetteville, Clinton, 75 in Goldsboro and Rocky Mount, and 70 degrees currently in Roxborough. So we're not talking about a big change. We're still going to see a high of 90 degrees this afternoon, but it will be mostly sunny. And if you find yourself a shady spot, it might feel a little nicer. We now have 4 areas in the tropics that the National Hurricane Center is watching. I'll show you where they all are and where they could be going.
We have breaking news we're following this morning. A man is in critical condition after a shooting in Goldsboro. Police say that shooting happened just after 10 last night on Brazil Street. Officers found a 22-year-old man with a gunshot wound. He was taken to the hospital and then flown to ECU Health in Greenville. There's no word on whether an arrest has been made in this case.
With just 10 days before the new school year kicks off, families with Wake County Public Schools will find out today what their child's bus route will be. The changes include some students arriving late every day. WRAL's Kelsey Coffey joins us live. Kelsey, walk us through what parents and students can expect from the state's largest school system.
Well, Renee, good morning. 560 bus drivers will be headed out of this bus depot come the first day of school in a couple of weeks. Now, that's just enough drivers to cover every route, but still more than 2,000 students could be arriving late to class, and a lot of those same students could also be going home late as 40 minutes after the final school bell rings. Now, the school system likely needs 20 to 30 new bus drivers and have no turnover before they can commit to getting everyone to school on time. We spoke with one parent who had to drive his son and other students to school last year when buses arrived late. He hopes he won't be stuck in the same situation this year.
I was risking losing my job. I mean, I can imagine other parents having to clock out and having to pick up their kids. I mean, and how workforce is right now, where, people struggling to hire people, it puts you in a bind.
Now, the school system is onboarding 16 new bus driver candidates, but that hiring process could take more than a month. So the school system is still going to have to work through a lot of kinks going forward. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News, live in Raleigh.
WRAL is your back-to-school headquarters. Watch On the Record on WRAL Saturday night at 7 as we sit down with school system leaders in Wake, Durham, and Cumberland counties about the upcoming school year. For information on all things back to school, visit WRAL.com, search Back to School.
Maui's top emergency management official has resigned amid the deadly wildfires. The move follows recent pushback over failing to sound the sirens to warn people there about the fast-moving fires. This new drone video gives us a better look at the widespread destruction in Lahaina. You can see the entire area has just been erased. 111 people are dead and estimated 1,300 are missing. Maui's mayor says Herman Andaya stepped down due to health reasons. He says they plan to find someone to fill the role immediately, given the urgent need due to the fire crisis.
And the FBI has arrived in Maui to help identify victims. Officials say only a handful of the more than 100 people killed have been identified. They say the process could take months because of the conditions of the remains from the fire. FBI agents are now analyzing fingerprints and DNA samples to help. They are also asking family members of missing people to provide samples in cases where bodies are not recognizable.
After days of being in the dark from severe storms earlier this week, people in Durham are finally waking up this morning with their power back on. Duke Energy crews finished that work last night. Even though it is back on, there's still scattered damage across the area and some road closures as well. And WRAL's Destiny Patterson joins us live from Durham with a look at the challenges that are still ahead for these folks. Destiny, good morning.
Good morning. The work is definitely not over here. You can see crews still working here behind me. It looks like they're working on one of those poles back there. But if you follow me this way, you can also see that there is still a traffic pole that is down on this sidewalk here. It's wrapped up in those wires, and they have makeshift stop signs up in the meantime. But this is nothing like what people here in Durham experienced earlier this week when that storm came through. Tens of thousands of people were without power, some for more than 48 hours, days without power there. They say that this was a very difficult recovery, largely due to the downed trees and the magnitude of trees in this area. But of course, this is definitely welcome news for people in this area to see that progress here. Destiny Patterson, WRAL News in Durham.
College campuses in the Triangle will be busy today and throughout the weekend with thousands of students moving in and getting ready to start the new school year in the Triangle. At UNC Chapel Hill, Chancellor Kevin Guskowitz will be welcoming students to campus this morning. At NC State, Chancellor Randy Woodson will be greeting new students at the dorms this morning. First day of class at both schools is on Monday. Students at Duke will be moving in tomorrow.
An archaeologist addressed the Wilson City Council about unmarked graves at Vick Cemetery. This plot of land looks like a park, but it holds great historical significance in the African American community. The tombstones were removed in 1994, though generations of black families have been buried there since the early 1900s. Beneath this green grass are more than 4,000 unmarked graves. No action was taken by the city council last night. WRAL will continue working on and following this story.
Former President Donald Trump and his legal team want a judge to delay the federal election interference trial until 2026. That's according to new court documents filed on Thursday. Special counsel Jack Smith's team requested the trial begin in January of 2024. But Trump's team wants that delayed, and they argue the government's objective is to deny Trump and his counsel a fair ability to prepare for trial. Attorneys for Trump also cited the former president's other criminal and civil cases he's involved in. A tentative date is expected to be set at the next hearing, which is August 28th.
A local sheriff's deputy now on administrative leave after FBI agents search his home. Coming up next, we reached out directly to the Wayne County deputy at the center of this recent investigation.
Plus, two children trapped in the rails of a kid's bed that is under recall. This morning, we'll tell you where this furniture was sold.
And you're taking a live look at Durham. Meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner is in the WRAL Severe Weather Center tracking conditions for today ahead of Football Friday.
From the WRAL Severe Weather Center, North Carolina's most experienced team of meteorologists.
It is 4:41. Nice quiet morning for us. We take a live look at downtown Apex. Nobody out right now, but you know, it feels okay out there. And by tomorrow, if you're one of those Saturday morning runners, it's going to feel pretty good for August. Now, you know, it's not going to feel like October by any means, but tomorrow morning, temperatures should be in the upper 60s. Our dew points may be in the mid 60s, so it'll feel more comfortable than it does for most of August. 72 in Lewisburg right now, 75 in Tarboro, 72 in Irwin, 73 in South Hill. This morning, we're still starting off with temperatures in the low to mid 70s. And of course, it's going to be a hot day. Walking the dog this morning, it feels okay out there. And then this afternoon, our temperatures climb to around 90. We look fairly rain-free, but we do have more heat coming. I'll show you when.
A Wayne County deputy is on leave this morning, just days after the FBI searched his home. The sheriff's office says agents searched the home of Deputy Charles Schaefer. It comes as the FBI has been investigating corruption within Wayne County Sheriff's Office for more than a year. A spokesperson says the department hasn't been given a reason for the search. WRAL called Schaefer to get more answers. He declined to comment.
The officers involved in the beating death of Tyree Nichols in Tennessee are now facing fewer charges. A Tennessee district attorney says he has dropped at least 30 cases involving the officers. Charges in about a dozen other cases have been lowered. The DA's office reviewed about 100 cases filed against the 5 officers, and all 5 have pleaded not guilty to charges, including second-degree murder.
Alicia Watts' family and friends are holding out hope for a safe return. The Moore County woman hasn't been seen for more than a month now. Watts is listed in the National Missing Persons database. Watts' family is hopeful the wider reach of that database will help them find her. She was last seen with her boyfriend, James Dunmore, when they left to see a show in Charlotte, July 16th. WRAL has since uncovered Dunmore has a violent past, including past convictions for kidnapping.
COVID cases are resurging across North Carolina and the U.S. This comes as medical experts race against the clock to approve a new booster shot with the new variant spreading. In the past week, COVID hospitalizations jumped more than 14% across the country. However, that's still a lot lower than pandemic levels. Medical experts say the new strain of the virus and lack of immunization is a challenge.
The main driver of this is a variant that's relatively newer to the scene, EG5. It's easier to give and get, so that makes it kind of easier to pass along.
It's been almost 1 year since the last COVID booster shot was available. CDC Director Dr. Mandy Cohen says a new dose is in the works. She says once it's approved by the FDA, then the CDC will make recommendations. This is expected within the 2nd or 3rd week of September. Until then, you may want to mask up again and stock up on those at-home COVID tests.
Today, you can learn more about the Willowdale Cemetery Preservation Society. The group began in February to protect Goldsboro's 270-year-old Willowdale Cemetery. The city maintains the 37-acre property on East Elm Street, but it's the society that cares for the actual headstones, markers, and fences. There are roughly 10,000 graves, including unmarked sites. The society is trying to get funding for maintenance and enhancements. You can hear all about it at a meeting tomorrow at 5:30 in the evening at the Wayne County Museum.
School resource officers in Durham are training to get ready for the coming school year. Sheriff Clarence Burkett and Durham public school leaders will speak today about safety preparations that are happening. They say school resource officers responded to more than 1,100 calls for service in the last school year. The school system has 27 SROs across 18 middle and high schools. The first day of class for the traditional calendar in Durham is August 28th.
We have 2 important recalls to tell you about this morning that could help you keep your family safe. First, a children's bed advertised as a Montessori floor bed. That's being recalled because 2 children were trapped in the rails. Zip-a-dee Montessori beds were sold in toddler, twin, full, and queen sizes. Spindles used to border the beds aren't spaced right. It's created a serious entrapment hazard that could choke and even kill a child. 2 children who were stuck in the bed's rails are okay.
And a heads up this morning for Costco shoppers. A portable charger is under recall because of a fire on a commercial flight. Costco sold this UBO Labs power bank both as single units and in sets of 2. There have been 3 battery fires. One happened on a flight, injuring a passenger. So stop using them and contact Costco for a refund.
It's been a long, hot summer. Tonight's the night. High school football action returns to the gridiron. 43rd season of Football Friday is back on air with highlights from more than 20 high school games. You can watch it right here on WRAL starting at 11:35 tonight.
And we also have NFL action tonight. The Carolina Panthers have their 2nd preseason game on the road against the New York Giants. Kickoff is tonight at 7 o'clock on WRAL.
We're at 4:47 on your Friday morning, and Elizabeth Gardner in the WRAL Severe Weather Center. It is clear out there. It's going to feel nice today. We're going to get a lot of sunshine too, right?
We are. Yesterday we did have a few pop-up showers, isolated thunderstorms. Today looks nice and dry. We have a front moving through. It's going to actually deliver a little bit of a drier air mass for today and tomorrow, and that should keep our chance for rain down today. Mostly clear right now. You can't see the stars, of course, on that picture, but when you head outside, if you're headed out before the sun rises, it's awfully pretty out there with those stars. 70 73 right now, the dew point of 68. We love to see the dew point in the 60s this time of year. We would love it even more if it dropped into the 50s. And that is a possibility for tomorrow. And that will feel very comfortable. Now, we're not going to see a big drop in our temperature. It's just, won't feel quite as muggy. Temperatures stay in the 70s until 9 a.m. And then we begin to warm things up. We'll be in the mid 80s around lunchtime with a high close to 90. Heading out the door, temperatures are in the low to mid 70s across the viewing area. We'll see 90 today in Raleigh, 88 in Durham, and 92 in Fayetteville. We should be nice and rain-free. We take a look at our forecast for the Durham Bulls. They have a homestand all the way through the weekend. It looks like it's going to stay nice and dry and pretty comfortable too. Tonight, 88 degrees at 6:35. But take a look at this. Tomorrow, 82 degrees at 6:35, and the dew point may be in the upper 50s. So a nice little break Saturday. Now Sunday, we warm back up. Sunday's game's a little earlier though. It's at 5 o'clock. It'll still be 90 degrees. The humidity starts to creep back Sunday, and it looks awfully hot for us next week. We take a look at our muggy meter, and we're looking at 60s, low to mid 60s potentially today. We'll drop it into the upper 50s to low 60s for tomorrow. And then we're back into the mid 60s and climbing up into the 70s, most likely by the time we get to the middle of the week. Here's a look at what's happening. The green shaded area is where it feels muggy and uncomfortable. And you can see as we get through the day today, a lot of that mugginess is sliding eastward. The farther north and west you go, the more comfortable it will be. It may still be a little sticky, say down around Fayetteville and Clinton. Look at that. On Saturday, that high builds in, and again, it should feel pretty comfortable for us. But after that, by Sunday, we start to see more of that flow moving back in, bringing that moisture back, making it feel more sticky. Football Friday, it looks nice for Football Friday. I tell you what, temperatures will be in the mid 80s at kickoff time, dropping into the upper 70s. So it's going to be a nice night for football tonight. We take a look at our 7-day forecast. 90 for today, 88 tomorrow, 93 Sunday, and then look at that, Monday and Tuesday, 97 and 98. Right now, it looks like the heat index probably won't get us to a heat advisory, and we do have a small break in the heat by next Wednesday.
More heat waves to come. Elizabeth, thanks. Talk about a dream job, getting paid to eat avocado. Coming up next, the duties you'll take on if you become Shake Shack's chief avocado officer.
Plus, time's ticking down for Facebook's privacy settlement case. What you need to know about your account that could make you eligible.
A 17-year-old from Robeson County entered UNC Pembroke this week as a college junior. Her goal, to graduate in 2 years as a licensed teacher. WRAL's Julian Grace explains how she rose to the top of her class.
17-year-old Hannah Pearson's favorite pastime is learning.
Because I just love to learn new information and just explore, learn new things.
Her love for learning helped her graduate from Fairmont High School, where her mom teaches.
Very intrinsic motivation is there. She is self-driven. Even into foreign languages, she wants, I want to learn a new language. So she'll learn Korean. She'll learn Spanish.
Starting in 10th grade, Hannah took advantage of the state's Career and College Promise program.
It's a free program which makes education very affordable to students, and they continue their pathway. They can graduate from both high school and college at the same time.
That's a challenge Hannah couldn't refuse.
But I believe you can do anything you put your mind to. It doesn't matter how well the next person does it. The only thing that matters is you and your drive.
Now starting at UNC Pembroke as a junior, Hannah's major is in elementary education.
She says she's not competitive, but she is.
Her drive inspired her dad, Brian McNear, who had never finished college.
I can't tell her to do something, to go after something that I haven't achieved myself. And so I got back into school at UNCP. I finished my bachelor's degree in May.
He gives all the credit to Hannah.
And I am very, 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 I think I've told her 3 times this morning and maybe all weekend, proud of her. God has given her a platform to show other kids that this is achievable.
Julian Grace, WRAL News.
She has found her calling. The CCP program is for high school students who meet certain academic criteria. Courses at their local community college help them earn transferable college credit or take courses leading to a career-focused certificate or diploma.
You have until next week to file a claim against Facebook in a data privacy settlement case. Facebook's parent company, Meta, is paying $725 million to settle a host of class action lawsuits. The suits claim third parties had access to private user information. If you're eligible to get a piece of this settlement, if you've had a Facebook account at any point between May 24th, 2007 and December 22nd, 2022, the deadline is next Friday.
Shake Shack is looking for its chief avocado officer. If you think you have what it takes, you'll want to listen up because today is the final day to apply. So your duties would include personally inspecting and tasting sliced avocados in the restaurants to make sure that they're served perfectly. And the winner will also get to participate in brainstorming sessions to incorporate avocados into the menu. The CAO will even receive a $3,000 stipend and a free Shake Shack for a year. I say you should do some mango avocado salsa, perhaps. That'll counteract those fries and those shakes.
That is
What do you think?
such a good call right there. But if they find the trick on how to keep them fresh for longer, then I want to know what that is.
Yeah. Well, to keep them from browning, a little lemon juice.
There you go.
That's the trick.
Next at 5, the state's largest school district takes another step today to find solutions and get kids to school, to and from, that is. Coming up next, we will explain what families can expect to learn just 10 days before the school year begins.
And caught on camera, a plane's wing catches fire mid-flight. What Southwest Airlines is saying about the mishap.